The market is red. The market is red. Everybody's scared. And I'm telling you guys, now's the time to take opportunity. Hop on these coins. I hadn't mentioned these coins before because they hadn't been in a really good price range to buy. But now that the market is, people are a little bit scared. Now's the time to get in here and we're going to talk about which ones are going to be. But before we do that, I want to tell you guys every single day I'm making a call on either a new creation, about to graduate, or graduate all over on my TG. Link is down below. You can also check me out on X. We also make calls there. So if you guys want to make sure you're getting on these opportunities and not missing out, that would be the perfect time. Like, for example, this Andy one, we called this at 400, 300K. It's sitting nicely. It hit 750, so it's almost getting close to a 2x right there after the call, depending on when you got in. But, guys, you're not going to want to miss out. Talking about missing out, guys, one of the things that I love to share with you guys is making sure you guys are constantly saving money and also buying as quickly as you possibly can. And the greatest thing is being able to get into plays really fast. And the best way I found is Bullocks. Link is down below. Join that link and start trading with Bullocks, and you guys should be good to go. All right. So what are we going to be looking at? Today, I want to highlight a couple ones. I'm going to highlight one that I mentioned before, and then I'm going to go to other ones that I haven't mentioned. So the first one I want to talk about, guys, is Jin. Now, Jin is a very good one right here because this one right here, why is this on here? This one right here had a beautiful bounce of 50K. It had a very nice dip here. Went down. I actually called and told you guys buy it right here, and then if you bought it, you went up pretty high right here because this one bottomed down at like at 10 and it went all the way up to 80 mil, so you 8x right there, which is a pretty good play. But then you had a nice little dip here all the way to the bottom. So right now it's almost bottomed out, and I think this is a very good entry. I feel like this still will break all-time high here. And entries that I'm looking to get in here and that I personally recommend. Okay, so right now it's sitting at 17 mil. It's holding very nicely at 17 mil. 17 mil is not a bad entry. You'll probably be able to 2x that, but ideally you want to get in here within the anything below the like 15 million. That would be ideal. So I'm gonna draw a nice little box here of where I would like to see an entry on this one. So I'm going to say anything right here, guys. So anything right here within this range. I'm going to make this bigger so you guys can see it too. Anything within this range should give you guys a very nice entry and should give you more than a 2x. Okay, so anything right here, if you're able to get in here, like in this 15, 12 mil, 13 mil range. Right now it's at 17, so I expect it to drop a little bit. If it doesn't drop, ideally this is still a pretty good entry. You're just not you're probably gonna be able to 2x, but ideally this is where you want to come in. So as you see, it's got some nice dips at this 15, 14 mil. So what's beautiful about Bullocks is I could easily come here, and we're gonna actually put one right. So we're gonna put a buy limit, and we're gonna put it right here. We're gonna say, okay, you know what? If this drops to right here to this, I'm gonna say 13 mil range, right? So 13 mil range right there. I want to buy five Solana there. We're gonna put it right there. And then that's going to let me sleep well at night because I know if it dips, I'm buying the dip and I'm writing it up, right? So that's beautiful about that. So that's why I love Bullocks and I like sharing with you guys. All right, so the next one we're going to be talking about is Mumu. As you see, guys, I already have a buy-in here, filled in here for Mumu. I actually bought right here as well. So I'm already in this position. But I also put in another buy order. If it drops to 84, 85 range right here, I want to buy in another 5. So we already bought some 5 here at that 90 range. So we're going to be buying more here for Mumu at this 84 range. This one, guys, definitely a 2x easy. If you get in this 80 range right here, definitely go up to 160 without like a major hiccup. The only thing with these is you don't know how long it's going to take for it to go up, or it could automatically just do this like in less than 5 hours, or it could do this in less than in less than a day, and then you're printing, right? So this one, it could 2x, 3x, 4x, you just don't know. But as long as you're buying right here, where I'm telling right here, you guys should be good to go. Okay, so let's draw a little box right here. For this one, currently right now, this is a pretty good buy zone where it's at. I mean, it's as long as it's under 100K, that's pretty good for, in my opinion. But ideally, you kind of want to get into that zone where I actually got in here, because that's going to give you a little bit more multiples, right? So anything within this range, I'm gonna put it all the way down here. I mean, if it falls to 70, that's golden. You hit the lotto on that one. But eventually, this is a pretty good range right here. Okay, so anything between 70, I know 70. I don't think it's gonna drop to 70, but as you see, it's had a drop to 70, so there's a possibility it can get a big red candle, and then that would be the time to buy in. But I'm looking to get into the 80 range, and currently right now it's sitting at 98. So anything below 100, I still feel like it's a very good entry for Mumu, and it does correlate pretty fast. So there's definitely a 2x that I would recommend. If you're watching this video, I would recommend, if it's still at this range, to get in it as quickly as you possibly can. The next one we're going to be taking a look at is another one called Shark Cat. And Shark Cat is actually a pretty interesting one because Shark Cat ran up pretty crazy when it first launched. It went all the way to almost 400. I mean, it kind of hit it. It was like 395, right? To hit 400 million in a very nice span right there, right? So really, woof. Then it dropped down. Then it had another nice little push to 180. Eventually, I expect this to kind of get a little bit of traction. Right now, it's sitting nicely at 15 mil. Ideally, on this one, I'm looking to get into something for this play in the 10 million range. Right now, we did have a nice dip here on the 24th and also on the 18th of August at that 9 mil range. So that 10 mil range was ideally here because right now it's currently at 15 mil. So on this one, I'm looking for anything below that 15 mil range. So we get a nice little red candle. That would be amazing because I do see this running up very soon. But I kind of wanted to get in here at 10 mil. So I'm going to put this a little bit higher. I do expect this to 2x. But, like I keep saying 2x because that's kind of like the minimum that you'll probably get out of it. But it could 3x, 4x, 10x eventually. It just depends how hard the run is, right? So we're going to put this in here. This is 9 mil. So I'm going to say ideally anything within 12 and 10. That is going to be my buy zone right here. And if it comes right here, we're gonna go ahead and just buy it, right? So let me go ahead and put one where I would put one, so you guys can get an idea of of how we do it here. So like I said, the great thing is if you're using Bullocks, just put your buy limit, right? So your buy limit, we're gonna go here, and we're gonna put this right here. We want to get in here in this 10 mil range. I mean, ideally it would be awesome to get in the 9 mil, but I would say like something right there. I'm gonna put another buy of 5, and we're gonna put buy. So if it dips there, we're getting in, right? So that's going to be for Shark Cat. The next one, guys, is one that I feel like it's going to be pretty good as well, which is Punky. Now, Punky, I already bought in as well. I actually just recently bought Punky. We got in here at 154. We're already pretty up on Punky. Not exponentially, but we're not negative. So we got in pretty good here, solid at this 150 range. But I also have a buy limit in case we get a nice little dip here into the 130s. Don't think it's going to drop to the 130s. I just have a buy limit in case it does drop to the 130s. So my average could dwindle down as well. But if it doesn't, I'm already in a nice juicy entry. This is actually a pretty good entry. Anything below 170 and 150, that would be a very nice entry rate. Right now it's sitting at 166. So anything between this like 170 to where I have the buy right there would be a nice little target range. Right now, I would probably wait to see if it gets a little bit lower, like in the 150 range. Even though I shouldn't be saying this because I have I already bought, right? But anything on that and that range is pretty good. Now on this one, I'm just waiting to 2x. As you see, I already have my sell limit right there. The reason I'm only waiting for this to 2x is because I'm kind of on this one. I don't expect to do like major multiples because this one would have to have a major run in order to do so. I think it will have a major run. I just don't think it's gonna be right now. I could be completely wrong on that one, right? So this could actually hit, go from where it's at all the way to 500K, right? So I like to put a sell limit because if it goes to 300, I'll sell, and eventually if I see it keep going up, I'll buy a little bit more and then get back in, right? But right now we have this sell limit. Now eventually, I do see that this hits like Popcat numbers pretty soon. I just don't know exactly when it's gonna hit them, but right now we got a very nice juicy entry here in this 150. That's why it's beautiful to get into these plays really fast because when the market is bleeding, that's the time you want to get in. The last one I want to mention is, guys, I mention this all the time, and I think this one is definitely a big runner. I think it's super undervalued, which is the Selfie. Now, the reason I feel like it's undervalued, I mean, one of the strongest communities in the meme coin space has been Selfie. I always constantly keep checking the GGs, how active they're on X, and they are extremely active, very bullish on this token. Now, for some reason, when I called it out on my channel prior to this, I called it down here, right? So I called it at 8 mil, and it ran up to 20 mil, so you 2x already. It had another nice little dip here to once again to that 9 mil range, and right now it's correlating back up. It'll probably hit 20 mil again, and we'll probably get another decline, and then we're gonna get a W effect where we should be getting an initial push, right? So the reason I'm saying this is because if you buy right now, so if you buy, this 10 million range, 11, 12 million range, you're going to be able to kind of 2x or, kind of get to that 2x thing, but it's going to come back down, and that's where you kind of want to buy in. If you have, if you're watching this video and it's already like at, 15 mil, but if it's not at 15 mil and it's within that 12, 10 mil range, it would be a good buy-in because this could actually be the next leg up, right? So this could be like the one that goes to 30 and drops back down, and then you buy back in and come back up, right? So ideally, this is a very good entry for Selfie. And I wanted to mention these because these have actually gone down a lot due to the fact that the market has been in the red zone. And I hadn't mentioned a couple of these, but right now they have really good entries that you definitely want to get into. Another one I want to mention as well is Billy. Now, Billy is a very interesting token because Billy, you know, ran up pretty crazy, as you see here, 299. I actually bought more Billy here in this low range of 25 mil, but Billy is completely undervalued. Like, I mean, right now it is right here. I think this does have a nice bounce back. Whether it hits the 190 mark where I have the sell, this is just in case some Binance says something, right, and it goes up. I have that limit because I never know when I go to bed, but I do think this gives you at this 25 range, it does give you a multiple, right? So that's what I'm looking for Billy as well. So Billy's a really good one to hold. And the last one I want to mention is Wolf. Now, as you guys know, I've been very adamant about Wolf. I told you guys, buy Wolf at 10 mil, which is right here. Thing ran all the way to 200 mil, right? So if you guys have been following me, I called Wolf very early. Especially I called it on a couple of places on my TG, and a lot of people made some really good money from this one. Currently, right now it's at 15 mil, and this is kind of like really bottom. Ideally, I would hate to say this, but I think it goes down a little bit more, kind of like within that 12 mil range. That is where you're looking to buy, but I personally still feel like 15 mil for this one is a really good entry. Okay, the reason is because let's say everything goes completely bad, I do see this hitting at least 330 mil. So that's easily a 2x for you guys, right? So if you get into that 15 range, it's going to hit 30 mil eventually, right? So I don't see the downside of getting in that 15 mil. Of course, if it gets lower, of course you're going to want to get in lower, right? Because that's going to make better multiples. But I do see this guy's running back up. Does it break all-time high? I have no idea. I mean, I hope it does because I feel like it has such a really good narrative, especially in Solana. And, I go a lot of conviction and when I feel like it's going to work. And I think a lot of people could identify with the whole wolf culture, especially since there's a lot of degens in the space. So I do feel it has a very good narrative, has a really good solid team behind it, has some really good art. People have been pushing it a lot on X. So there's a big community behind the wolf community. And I am heavily invested in wolf. Okay. So like for me, it'd be ideal if it goes up, right? But I have to look out for you guys as well. So I think that 15 mil, 12 mil to 15 mil range, I think it would be a nice entry for Wolf. You could easily do like if you do my strategy, which is the wall strategy. If you don't know what that is, I have a video linked down below that you guys can watch. Is I'll probably buy a little bit here at this 15 mil range, and if it drops to 12, I'll buy a little bit more to give me a better average. And what that will ideally do is going to give me a lower entry, but I'm already locked in case this blows up, right? So that's the main thing you want to be doing here. But Wolf is one that I highly recommend you check out. So check these out, guys. Make sure you write them down when you got in, and I will make an update video because a lot of you guys have been writing to me on TG. I have 2x from your calls on YouTube. I thank you. I made a lot of money. So hopefully you guys can come back, leave them in the comment section down below, or check me out on TG on X. And don't forget, guys, to trade faster, save gas fees. Check out Bullocks. Links is down below. Thank you guys for watching. I'll catch you guys on the next one.